Bitcoin's finally showing some signs of life after pumping to almost $90,000 today. And is that just a relief rally? Well, that's something I want to get into today by looking at what's happened as we've gone into bear markets in previous cycles. Now, before we get into that, I kind of want to set the record straight on something. I've been seeing a lot of people post today about all this economic data we're supposed to get, referencing this webpage here, talking about that we're supposed to get CPI and PPI and then initial jobless claims. And I was really confused by this because I was under the understanding that all this October data was getting pushed off to December. So I looked it up just to verify that, and I was right. The CPI is delayed until December 18th, a week after the Fed meeting, actually 8 days, and then the unemployment data isn't until December 16th, 6 days after the next Fed meeting. So I don't know if people just aren't verifying this before they go out and make these claims. But please don't hang on this data that's not even going to be released. I don't know why people are coming out and saying this data is going to be released. We are not getting this data over the next couple days. And it would be very important data to get because these bits of information would really affect how the Fed makes the decision at their December 10th meeting. It's actually very unfortunate this data doesn't come out before then because the Fed isn't going to have all the data at their next meeting. And they've already stated that if they don't have enough data, there's a chance they just fold their arms and just say, well, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, so we don't want to make the wrong decision here, so we're keeping everything as is. So, as I said already, that data is not being released. It will not be affecting the market going forward, but there could be some other things that do. Now, like I was talking about here, from the lows, you can see we've made a almost 11% move over these last couple of days. And actually, funny enough, holding on to a Sunday pump for the first time in almost too long. But as you can see here, as we've gone into bear markets in the past, you can see that pumps of this size really aren't anything that's abnormal. You can see 40% there, and even here to here, we got another 30%, and then one final pump up, another 30%. So this isn't any abnormal movement. And you can see here too, even compounding onto it, that we have a lot of liquidations that are building up in the market too because people are getting excited because we actually did have a really good day in the stock market today. So you can see there's already almost 3 billions in longs that are already built back up to the downside, and it wouldn't surprise me if we just dump back down and liquidate all these people. Like I've said before, I am very confident in the ability for this market to make a move at least to the 50 weekly moving average, and that's only another 15% from here. And obviously, that can change depending if we go down or up, because really it's a roll of the dice at this point. Specifically, risk on assets like Bitcoin are sitting on a knife's edge, and the smallest amount of good or bad news could really send us over the edge one way or another. So it's going to be really important to keep an eye on what is coming out, which is why I wanted to make a video clearing the air about the data that is not coming out, because there's a lot of people saying that it will be released and there is no data to be released. So please keep that in mind. The data that's supposed to come out over the next couple days will not even be released until after the next Fed meeting. And from here, it's really up in the air what way we could go. We could continue to bounce up. We could go back up to the yearly opening around 93,000. We could dump back down and retest this 80,000. But ultimately, at some point, I believe we will make a move up. And that might be something that happens at the beginning of next month. Just the idea that QT is ending could send some um, good sound waves through the market, and creates a little bit of excitement and move the market up. That wouldn't surprise me if we see that on December 1st or December 2nd, or even leading up to the Fed meeting on the 10th if odds for a rate cut continue to increase. So while we're in this point in time where the market is extremely sensitive to every little thing that happens, just keep a tab on events that are coming up. Because if you can have an indication on what's going to happen at these events, or if you just know they're happening, then you can be ahead of the game and be ahead of the market so that you don't get left behind.